heart on my lips. I gave it all I could give. I made it hot at the crib. I kept that fire at the crib. Where you gonna go when you do? How I'ma know for real?
Welcome back to season 2 of the Luis Fausto podcast. This is Luis Fausto, your host. And on this episode, I want to talk about giving yourself permission. This applies to your daily life, your family, and with yourself. So wherever you're listening to this on Apple Music, on Anchor, or if you're on the road, at the gym, or just sitting down and wanting to listen to something that's going to feed your brain, take a seat, get comfortable, and welcome to the show. Let's get it.
Then come spit your chain. I done earned my stripes, now I'm tryna go give me some real rain. And through my third eye, cause I got ton of vision. Had to open my mind, then I open the business. Like you gotta sell your soul for them to pay attention. Fuck all that plan, now I'm grown, I put my
What's up, guys?
heart
Welcome.
in.
I appreciate you guys for joining me for season 2 of the Luis Fausto podcast. This is Luis Fausto, your host. As always, I appreciate your time. I value your time just as I value my time. And you know, I want to make sure you guys are efficient with your time. So the least I can do is share my thoughts and, you know, feed your mind and make you think differently, you know, different perspectives. And that being said, I want to say a little disclaimer. I'm no expert. I did study cognitive science at school, but that gives me no right to push any ideas onto you or, you know, tell you that this is the only way to work. So I'm just so passionate about learning new things about myself, about how society works, or how, you know, the psychological development we've been built into, and just how we could restructure those frameworks, you know, social constructs. So, you know, get comfy. This season is going to be full of the same topics, full of different topics. I might elaborate more on, you know, topics I've talked about. Like, for example, last season, I talked about happiness. I talked about emotional intelligence. I could elaborate on those even more. You know, these are endless topics, endless perspectives. So we could sit down always and talk about these topics. That's what I love about this. So once again, welcome to the show. And, you know, today's topic is something that I've kind of dug into, but just never saw it this way. And it's just a different way of saying, you know, don't be scared of failure. So Gabriela, you know, she's taking a communications class at school. And the book that's required for that class is called The Natural Speaker. So pretty much talks about, you know, how to be a good speaker, a good public speaker, and the things that it requires to be in a speaking environment. So for example, you know, I read chapter 1, talks about what it requires, you know, when you're communicating, you know, a speaker, a message, a receiver. There's noise. For example, like in a library, you might whisper and communicate in a whispering manner, or if you're at a cocktail party or a conference, you might be dressed differently and talk differently. So different forms of communication, different aspects. You might be in, you know, I don't know, in a busy city, you might have to yell. So, you know, different things that require, you know, there's different requirements for conversation and communication. So, but chapter 2 was something, you know, this book is revolved around communication, but it talks about giving yourself permission. And I took that and I was like, dude, this could be applied anywhere. So let's get right into it. So give yourself permission. I want to ask you guys a few questions. Have you ever felt like every time you do something, you're so worried about the other person's opinion? And what I mean by other person is by society's opinion. This makes society one person. Let's suppose you apply to school, you know, you're out of high school, you apply to college, right? You don't get accepted. You kind of don't want to go to school, so you're kind of happy. And, you know, let's make it easier. You just decide not to go to school, right? What does that society say? You know, like, oh my God, really? You want to throw away education down the drain? Like, all this opportunity in front of you. Mostly, you know, let's even get even deeper. Sometimes those people, that society is your parents, the environment you grew up around. So then you sit there like, damn, every decision I make is based solely on someone else's reaction. Now, this is a fact. This is like the point of giving yourself permission. Like, do you ever ask yourself how you feel? Do you ever ask yourself, like, this decision is based on my morals and, you know, my values, what I think is right and what makes me happy? So, you know, maybe you sit down, instead of, you know, talking to your parents about it first, you know, you sit down and talk to yourself first. People forget about that. People talk to themselves, but I think they just do it wrong because there's ego involved. There's confirmation bias, meaning you're only going to tell yourself to make yourself feel better. Also, you know, be careful with this because you could be in denial. Another thing, you know, communicate with yourself. So don't be in denial. So sit down and talk to yourself like, is school right for me? You know, look back at high school. High school is a piece of cake, in all honesty, you know. If you're talking about the school system, I think high school is pretty easy, but people still struggle, which is totally fine. But what I'm trying to say is high school does not prepare you for college. So when you go off to college, you feel lost. You don't know how to do your homework. You don't know how to study. So what happens? You start failing classes, right? But look back and like, what do I want to do with my life? You're 18. You're fresh out of high school. It's like, dude, you don't have to pressure yourself. Give yourself time. So ask yourself for permission. Is it okay for me not to go to school? Is it okay if I feel this way? Is it okay if my parents don't agree with me? But you know what? I'm still gonna take their opinion and value it and not get in an argument and let them know, like, look, this is a decision I made. I'm here to support. I want to make something out of myself, but I just don't want school. Perfectly fine. But communicate with yourself. Give yourself permission. Another thing, are you ever scared of failure? Now really ask that to yourself. Am I scared of failure? And 99% of the time, you're going to say yes. The reason why we're scared of failure is because we're so worried about what the other person thinks of us. Dude, I started a business, I failed. What is the freaking society going to... All these people that I told, like, dude, I'm going to start a business. What are they going to think of me? Man, this guy's a failure. But it's my first shot at it. You think athletes, really put this into perspective. You think athletes at such a young age, 8 years old, professional football player, at 8 years old, they're thinking like, well, I want to be a professional football player, right? They get into high school, they're good, they go into college, but it's like, do you think just because a quarterback, for example, throws an interception in one game, damn, I'm a failure. That's it. My career's down the drain. You think they think like that? I don't think these professional football players or professional athletes in any sport have gotten to the point where they're at if they just took that one thing, that one failure. Man, I scored an own goal in my net. Man, I could have scored that goal with an open net. Man, I should have shot that basket a little closer. Or whatever it is. I should have passed the ball. We're scared of failure because so worried about what the other person says. So what I'm trying to say is give yourself permission to fail because this is where you learn. Don't be so scared. Don't value other people's opinions so much because it won't allow you to drive your own life. You're living a life for someone else. Now, I want to make this clear. This does not mean to have an ego and push away those people that care about you. For example, you have a significant other, a girlfriend. They tell you, hey, babe, I think that, this might not work out, like, your endeavor in business. This might not work out because I see that this is, it's kind of, doesn't seem right. I know you're stressed out, so that's constructive criticism. You value that person's opinion. You're not pushing what's high. You could sit there and be like, who are you to tell me how to run a business? You don't even know anything about it. That's the egotistical part. So be patient. Listen to the people around you that care about you, but don't value it so much where you have to agree with them and then start an argument. Sit down, have a conversation. You know what I mean? Take the constructive criticism. They're making you think. They're making you like, oh, maybe I should try a new business. Maybe I should try a new career. Maybe I should do this. You're not living your life based on their terms. They're just suggesting because they're a third perspective, obviously. But, again, this is where it gets tricky because you want to make sure that you value yourself and you ask yourself those questions without driving your actions based on someone else's opinion of you. So, again, regardless of what society thinks of you, drive your own life, take control of your own life. However, do pay close attention to those around you, the close ones. Pick and choose. I could count mine on one hand, honestly. And those people, it matters when they tell me things. It matters when they tell me a criticism or tell me a feedback on how to do something and how to do it differently. And like, wow, I'm so aware of myself that I'm able to consider it. So be aware and be open. Don't be so on guard. Don't be so egotistical where like, nah, you're wrong. Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Nah, like, what the heck? Who are you to tell me this? So be patient, be open. So the message of this one, I want to keep it short. I will elaborate on this more. I'll give more examples. I appreciate you guys for listening, but message for this one is give yourself permission. Talk to yourself. Don't be afraid of Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid to fall. Get yourself back up and worry about what the other person has to say. All success is subjective. So whatever you think is success will will make you fulfilled. Will make you happy. So pay close attention to that. And really, really elaborate next time someone tells you something and it really gets to you. Even on social media, comments, like, you don't even have to interact with people one-on-one no more. Someone could post a comment, someone doesn't like your picture, you take that so offensively. Like, don't do that. Give yourself permission to get that feedback and allow yourself, like, you know what? Okay, cool. Like, someone actually took the time of day to say that. Like, who cares? Like, just live your life on your own terms, but without disrespecting those around you. Just keep fulfilling yourself. And trust me, it's a domino effect. People around you will be happy. People around you will finally see your efforts. People around you feel the energy off of you, all because you believe in yourself. And you don't have to put that into people's faces. Just be patient. Don't do it for no one else. Don't be ready with your arsenal. Like I told you guys, what happened the last couple of times you guys told me like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Don't do that. Don't be ready with that. Be aware enough to drop that arsenal, and that you're doing it for yourself, and it just makes people around you so happy for you. Your significant other, your family, your uncles, your aunts, your best friends, your business partner. It makes those people happy because they feel the energy. Your success is their success, so you guys share it. So I know that's a lot. I know it's all over the place, but that's one thing I want to share on my podcast is, just be open. This is no, as you can tell, there's no good production on this. I'm not over here, I want you guys to hear the errors I have in my voice because I'm human. That's relatable. I'm not here like, trying to perfect all this shit. So I'm just speaking my mind and I'm on this momentum wave where it's like, just keep going, just keep going. I don't have a piece of paper in front of me about these topics. I just talk about what I feel. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys fuck with this, let me know. There's, if you guys want to help out with some sponsorships or, just support the show, there's a button on Anchor. So let me know. Shout out to everyone that's listening to this. You guys are freaking awesome. So just remember, keep striving for your goals and focus on yourself. Be self-aware. Be self-passionate. Spread love. Spread happiness. Smile. Don't be so sour. Just be happy. And trust me, you'll get there. And as the show ends, I just want to say one thing. Keep striving, baby. Let's get it.
And it's like every song I'm on, I be calling my spirits. I put my Hublot on rock. I put Moscato on rock. One front, one say up. Shoot at an OB, shoot at a cop. Shoot at the police, shoot at your top. I made $1 million on socks. Free all my niggas who stuck in the box. Locked up and watching the clock. Locked up, they fighting with locks. Locked up, they swinging they knives. I can't be living this life. No more Bacardi, alright. I don't want Cardi, so I'ma pour Henny on ice. My vision is vivid. Told you I'm really a menace. I showed you I'm destined to get it. I be outside with the glizzy. Told that fire be tripping. I just might die on living. I ain't take no bad, but I'm tripping. Niggas ain't catching me slipping. Hey, yeah. I make you laugh when you with me. Know that my swag is terrific. Ain't seen my dad in a minute, but I can't be mad, I got millions. I just put up in the limit. Thuggin', so fuck your opinion. I'm thuggin', so fuck how you feelin'. I'm calling my spirit through my third eye, cause I got ton of vision. Had to open my mind, then I open the business. It's like you gotta sell your soul for them to pay attention. Fuck all that plan, now I'm grown, I put my heart in it. I had to get down with that chrome and show them niggas I'm serious. And it's like every song I'm on, I be calling my spirits.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for listening to the episode on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe if you fuck with me. If you don't, it's all love from this side. Leave some comments, leave some topics you would like me to talk about in the future, and give me your thoughts. But as of now, keep doing what you're doing, keep striving.